Bo Super Coach. Look at that bridge in the background. What a beautiful backdrop, and what an outstanding day it is today. It could be the last working day for many of you. Not for me. I've still got many auctions tomorrow, which I'm really excited about, and there seems to be good buyer activity as well. So I look forward to tuning in tomorrow afternoon and providing a weekly update. Just thought I'd mention a few things, given we're going into a period of reflection and a period of a downtime, a period with our loved ones, and something to marinate over that period of time, which is really meant to be a spiritual time. Unfortunately, Christmas has become commercialized, but it really is a beautiful Christian day in terms of its significance and what it represents. But look, as long as it brings people together, I think just the gifts and the commercialization of it, I think, is just part of capitalization. So a lot of developing countries have some basic human needs, and that's obviously food, water, shelter. And unfortunately, the developing countries is a huge part of our world. You know, there's 8 billion people in the world, and with globalization, we've got to understand that they're our brothers and sisters. And unfortunately, 44% of the world's population live in a degree of poverty where they're living on $6 per day. Can you believe that? I mean, that's very hard to find clean running water, medicine, good quality food, refrigeration, all the things that we just take for granted. So as a developed nation ourselves, I thought I'd remind you of that, and not to take any of what we have for granted. Now, in terms of our biological human needs, given that we are living in a developed nation, and given you've basically won the geographical lottery by being born there, those 44% of the world's population, I mean, they didn't make a decision to be born in, you know, the poorer parts of, you know, the Asian continents, the Indian continents, the African continents. You know, we are extremely fortunate to be on our own island, you know, on the southeast corner of the globe, and have access to everything that we could possibly need, and with Medicare, and with access to doctors and running water, and it's just something that we just can't take for granted. So what are our human needs, given that we live in a developed nation? And this is something I really want you to think about over the break. Well, first one is certainty. This is actually a biological DNA human need. We need some sort of certainty in our lives to avoid a high degree of anxiety. And this is really critical, whether it's certainty with your partner, certainty with your career, certainty with feeling safe, for example. Now, you can't control it 100%, but you can certainly influence certainty by the way you conduct your lifestyle. And obviously, as you know, this series is known as the Living with Virtue series. So if you live with virtue, the chances of you living with certainty are very high. The second one, quite ironically and almost a hypocrisy to the first one, is uncertainty or variety. People do need a degree of variety in their life in order to be stimulated. And that could be through work, through your relationship, through hobbies, through interests, through study, through different forms of exercise. It could be with, you know, different forms of eclectic friendships, relationships, etc. So it's equally as important, and it provides that mystery and that anticipation and that variety which the old cliche is the variety is the spice of life, right? The third one is significance or purpose. You must have a purpose. You must have significance. So you've got to feel part of something, whether you feel that part of a family in your own, biological family, or if you've got a work family, or if you've got friends that are like family. Other people need to think that you're significant in their lives. That's so critical. It's again, these are biological human needs for us, which we're the other 50% that we're not scrambling for food, water and shelter. We've got access to that. So a really important one. The fourth one is love. What a beautiful human need that is. To be loved and to love your dog, to be loved or to be loved by your partner, to be loved or love your family, your friends, anyone around you in your life. It fills your bucket, it warms your heart, it makes you feel invincible. And some people try and avoid love because they think that it's going to be too painful. Well, I think the pleasure you get out of love outweighs any pain that could be concerned with love. And let's face it, we know that this is an area where causes either the most intense pain or causes and creates the most incredible feeling that you could ever feel in terms of that connection and that euphoria. So it's a very polarizing human need because it can be extremely painful or extremely pleasurable. The fifth one is growth. You need to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. So that could be in your career, that could be in your personal life, it could be personal development, it could be growing with your partner, either business or personal. It could be growing your intellect, your vocabulary, your body. You could be growing your body in terms of health, nutrition, resistance training, whatever that might be. And as long as you're moving forward and growing in some capacity, it's important. The final one is contribution. We can't live without contributing. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean you donate. I mean, I like to donate to mental health charities, and I've been doing that for a long time. And as many people know, I'm a huge advocate and an ambassador for the Black Dog Institute. But contribution can work in so many other ways. You could contribute to friends, family, your loved one, and be that altruistic person that gives back. And I know I love contributing to the real estate industry. I mean, frankly, most of my content is free when you think about it, probably 80%. There's only probably 20% that I charge a fee for. And that's my definition of contribution, which I love because the real estate industry has been so good to me over 35 years. And I feel obliged and compelled to give back. And I absolutely love doing it. I love seeing agents develop into better versions of themselves and just see them lose ego, grow into beautiful human beings, and grow into amazing real estate practitioners. God bless. Merry Christmas. Live with virtue always. I'll see you soon.